You are making the world a better place by listening to the Joy of Living podcast. This is your guide to achieving a more purposeful, powerful, and positive life. Join Barry Shore in unlocking the best version of you and becoming happier, healthier, and wealthier. And now, here's your ambassador of joy, Barry Shore.
Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. Now, you know you're good-looking because you're always looking for and finding the good in life. That's the definition of a good-looking person, looking for and finding the good. And you have found good in abundance because you have consciously and conscientiously tuned into the Joy of Living podcast with your humble host, Barry Shore. And we are delighted today to invite you and all the people around the world. You're joined right now by over 400,000 people who tune in regularly because they know that on this show, The Joy of Living, we discuss the three fundamentals of life. And when you utilize these three fundamentals of life, the result is you'll be happier, healthier, and wealthier. And today is a special treat because you're going to hear from an amazing man, Kevin Smith, and we're going to talk about the greatest ability to be happier, healthier, and wealthier. You're going to love it. And I just want to make mention of these three fundamentals again. What are they? Number one is life. Your life has purpose. When you lead a purpose-driven life, number two happens. In this case, a good number two. You go MAD. Now, MAD is a wonderful acronym that stands for make a difference. You lead a purpose-driven life, you make a difference in the world. And the third fundamental is to find the positive, purposeful, powerful, pleasant essence of words and phrases so that we can unlock the power of them. As an example, right now, this show is carried all throughout the world, hundreds of thousands of people listening. We thank you for bringing your family and friends. By the end of the summer, we'll have over 500,000 people listening every week. And we just urge you, share this with 5 people. That's it. 5. You want to share with 50 or 100, it's up to you, but at least 5 so we can touch 2 million people every single time. And what happens when we do this? Well, we gain the benefit of being happier, healthier, and wealthier. So what does WWW stand for? Ask anybody. It'll tell you it has to do with the internet. Factually speaking, they're correct. In our world, the world of the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, WWW stands for what a wonderful world. And what is a word, right? WHATA. And of course, that wonderful song. Big thank you to Louis Armstrong and a tip of the hat, because the song, What a Wonderful World, goes viral and touches not just tens of millions or hundreds of millions, but billions of people around the planet. Whenever you hear the opening bars of What a Wonderful World, what do you do right away? You can't help it. You smile. Now, smile is one of the most important words you could ever internalize, utilize, and leverage in your life, because smile stands for seeing miracles in life every day. That's right, seeing miracles in life every day. Now, recently, I spoke to a group of people. We had 1,127 people in the audience. And I'm talking about the story of Barry Shore and about seeing miracles in life every day. Some people raise their hands and say, hey, Barry Shore, I've been out for hours already. I haven't seen any miracles. And I asked them, are you here? Can you hear? Can you stand still? I can't do that. Can you walk? I can barely do that. Do you have water to drink? Do you have family? Do you have food? Do you have friends? Do you have a place to sleep? Every single one of those is a miracle. And what's the proof? Simple as proof. 1 million people didn't get out of bed this morning. You know why? They died. By definition, if you're watching or you're listening, you didn't. If we have an obligation to live life to the full, to live exuberantly. Let me just tell you a quick story. It's about me. Imagine, if you can, I'm standing up in the morning, completely healthy and hearty, able to leave 12 buildings in a single bound. And that evening, I'm in the hospital, totally, completely paralyzed, my neck down. It's called being a quadriplegic. Nothing in your body moved. And it was not from an automobile accident. It wasn't a spinal injury. It was a rare disease which took over my body and rendered me quadriplegic. I could only communicate by blinking my eyes. I was 144 days in the hospital. I was in a hospital bed in my own home for 2 years. I couldn't move. I was in a wheelchair for 4 years. I had braces on both my legs, from my hips to my ankles, and that was progress. Thank God today I'm able to be vertical and ambulatory with the help of a 7-foot walking wand. So I'm a triped, not a biped. I can't walk up a stair by myself. I can't walk up a curb by myself. I have help 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. But you hear my voice, positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, all because of one word: smile. Smile stands for seeing miracles in life every day. Now, I got to tell you a quick story. My 8-year-old niece comes over to me a few weeks ago. She says, Uncle Barry, can we spell smile S-M-I-E-L? I thought about it. Smile sounds the same. Why not? I asked her, how come? She says, because then it would stand for seeing miracles in everyday life. Other than an 8-year-old. But what was she doing? She was creating the kind of world that she wants to live in. Now, CREATE is a fabulous acronym that stands for causing rethinking, enabling all to excel. That's right. It's about rethinking. We call it a shift in perspective. Now, I got to tell you, I've been working with people for more than 4.5 decades. And when people come to me, 97.2% of all the people who start with me, they drop the F in shift, and the other stuff happens. You got to be effing careful with your Fs. You want to shift your perspective just a little bit. And now you open up a whole world of goodness. And what will happen is you'll be able to internalize, utilize, and leverage the 6 most important words you'll ever learn. And these are: choice, not chance, determines your destiny. Choice, how you choose to respond to any given situation, will determine the path of your life and your trajectory. Now, I got to tell you something. Before we bring on our amazing, wonderful guest, Kevin Smith, I have to warn everybody, new people to the audience, and Kevin, that I do use a lot of 4-letter words. I even use the 4-letter FU word, and I do it for the shock value, and it's fun. Well, the 4-letter words that we use, of course, because we live in the world of the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, are love, life, hope, pray, play, free, gift, swim. And the 4-letter FU word is fun. Fun, that's right. F-U, capital N, capital N. So after the show, you see your family and your friends, you have a twinkle in your eye, a smile on your face. Remember what this stands for. I want you to point your finger and say, F-U, everybody. But remember to add right away, capital N, capital N. So where'd you get that? So I listened to Barry Shore on the Joy of Living podcast. He wants to teach the world to F-U, capital N, capital N. You got their attention. Now you can talk to them about what we're going to discuss. And it's going to rock your world for the good. So before we bring on wonderful Kevin, I want to urge everybody to do the following, because it will make you happier, healthier, and wealthier. To use the 2 most powerful words in English language 3 times a day from now the rest of your life, consciously and conscientiously. And these 2 words are thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank stands for to harmonize and nurture kindness. To harmonize and nurture kindness. Everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. Therefore, be kind always. KIND is a fabulous acronym that stands for keep inspiring noble deeds. I can't think of anybody that inspires noble deeds and talks about kindness more than my dear friend, wonderful Kevin Smith. Kevin, please say hello to 407,822 people around the world.
Well, hello, Barry, and hello to so many kind people, as you described, from all over the world. It's so great to be with you today from my hometown of York, Pennsylvania, and from the friendly state of Pennsylvania, USA.
Woo! Everybody hear that? That's right. Everything, this beaming of light that's going out to the entire world is emanating from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and the town of York and these rolling, beautiful hills that nurture people who live in kindness. So if I start telling you all the wonderful things about Kevin, it'll take the rest of the show. What I'm going to do, though, is turn it over to him right now, and we're going to talk about the story that led to the formation of something that we called Kindness Worldwide. So, Kevin, please share with people from all over the world, what is it that sparked this amazing group called Kindness Worldwide?
Well, thank you so much. Well, my story is proof of the transformative power of kindness, because my life changed from one simple act of kindness. The story I'm about to share is proof that no act of kindness is too small to make a difference. and that anyone can make a lasting impact, and I would argue even change the world through kind actions. So my story began on Good Friday morning of all days, 2023, just last year, on a very simple honey-do list from my wife. She sent me to the grocery store to pick up 2 items, shrimp cocktail sauce and a McDonald's gift card. Now how hard is that? Not very hard to do, right? Well, leave it to me to mess it up. So she even told me exactly where to go. There's 50 aisles in grocery stores. I get lost in grocery stores. So she made it very simple for me. I purchase the 2 items. I check out. I drive straight home. I pull in my driveway at 9:55 a.m. based upon our Ring doorbell footage. I walk inside. I reach for my back pocket and my wallet is missing.
Oh, wait a minute. Let's everybody feel that. Your wallet is missing. Or for a lot of people today, because we deal with a very young group around the world, your phone is missing. Ah!
Well, and many people think it's only money, but no, it's time, it's inconvenience, it's replacing credit cards, driver's licenses, it's memories of photos of lost loved ones. So it's more than just the money. Money can be replaced, but there's some things that are replaceable. So I searched my car, thinking maybe it's on the car seat, and I realized it's not there. It had to be back at the store. And literally, just as I'm about to push the panic button, which was the ignition button of my car, like an angel out of heaven, a young woman appears at my front door at 9:57 a.m., holding my wallet, asking if it was mine. And I went from just being a state of panic to being overjoyed in an instant. I thanked her profusely. I offered her a monetary reward. She refused to accept it. And as she was about to drive away, I had the impulse to ask her name. It was Brooke, she said. I walked back inside. I'm overwhelmed by what had just happened. It inspired me. I felt that I should have done more to thank her. She literally went the extra mile for me, 2.6 to be exact, from the store to my home, to return my wallet immediately without hesitation the moment she found it. And I felt I should have gone the extra mile for her and thank her in a more meaningful way. So I impulsively, reflexively emailed the news. As we know, much of the news is negative, and this inspired me. And I felt if the news might cover the story, it might inspire others as well. But more importantly, I felt if they would air the story and she would see it, it would acknowledge her in a more meaningful way. Well, within 7 minutes, a local reporter replied. She agreed. We need more good news. She came to my home the following Monday, did an interview, aired the story that evening. And the next thing I knew, this story went viral across the country. It was seen in Florida and Arizona and Hawaii, practically every state you can imagine. All this positivity that it inspired, so many wonderful comments. And it doesn't take, there's so much negativity out there, it doesn't take much good news. Even a lost wallet can make national news, believe it or not. Yeah.
By the way, just to put you on pause for a moment, we all, if you don't know, most people do know, the great analogy of a small amount of light can push aside a great deal of darkness. If you are in a dark room and you just light a single small candle, within a matter of moments, all of a sudden, the darkness is fading. And that's the genius of what happened here. Your impulse to say thank you by reaching out to local news. Let's be blunt. York is a smaller city, so it's a little more easy, but doesn't matter. Somebody was smart enough to say, you're right. Good news on Good Friday, I think that needs to be shared. And now look what happens. You're spreading the light. The candles are being lit one to another. So now more, please.
Well, amen. I agree with everything you just said. The good will always overshadow the darkness, no doubt whatsoever. And we saw that with what happened in the story. But I wondered if she was even aware of the story, because that was why I reached out to the news in the first place. And it bothered me that this young Good Samaritan woman may not even be aware of all the positivity her act inspired. Now, it was a long shot, but no Hail Mary pass was ever caught. That was never attempted. So I decided to throw one of my own. Barry, do you have any idea how many Brooks there are on Facebook?
By the way, I'll presume, since it's a woman, that she spells it Brooke. However, one never knows. So this is Facebook. It could be the population of New York City, 19 million of them. Who knows?
Well, thankfully, I guessed right, because that's how I spelled it and entered it in the Facebook search. And I scrolled for, it seems like, countless minutes, and I was literally about to give up. And at the very moment I was about to give up, I saw a profile picture of a young woman and her dog. It caught my eye and I thought, maybe it's her, not sure. So I messaged her on Facebook with a link to the story. And sure enough, it was her. And I was struck, Barry, by her modesty and humility throughout. She actually thanked me for thanking her. And she made a comment that struck me. She said, I'm just the blurry face, because they blurred out her face in the segment to protect her privacy. But it was not to shield her from credit. But at least I had the consolation of knowing that she saw this story. But that comment stuck with me because she was so much more. She inspired all this positivity. And I felt there's more I still should do yet to acknowledge her in a more meaningful way, but I wasn't sure what that would be. Well, believe it or not, a couple of days later, I get an email from Inside Edition. Now, Inside Edition is a very popular.
It's a big gig in the United States.
It's a big deal. And at first I thought it was a joke, but it was legitimate. And the story coordinator asked if I knew who Brooke was and if she might be willing to do an interview and do a story on Inside Edition. I was excited because she won't be the blurry face anymore. Well, on the day that interview was supposed to occur, another storyline emerged. It took priority. They put the story on the back burner, postponed it. Well, the story never happened. Interview never occurred. And I was disappointed at the time because that was a way to acknowledge her in a more meaningful way. And it seemed like the media had moved on, but I didn't. And I knew I had to do something more. Well, as fate and circumstance would have it, on April 25th, this is all happening, very quickly, one after another. I had a meeting with Stephen Martinez. Stephen Martinez is the executive director of the York County SPCA. I'm an animal lover.
SPCA stands for Society for Prevention of Cruelty to Animals.
That's correct. And I used to be on the board of directors of the York County SPCA, and Stephen would meet with me from time to time and update me on the status of the organization, which, by the way, improved their save rate from 53% to 95% in just 3 years under his leadership. That in itself is a miracle. One of the top save rates in the country in 3 years, just by visionary leadership. Well, I was meeting with Stephen. This was on our calendar long before the events of Good Friday morning, and Stephen was late for our meeting and apologized profusely for being late. Now, any guesses, Barry, why he was late?
He was doing an act of kindness.
Well, that goes without saying, because Stephen's a very kind person, but he was late because he forgot his wallet.
Oh, wait a minute. I want everybody to laugh out loud. That's wonderful.
I mean, you can't make this up. And I shook my head. I laughed and I said, Stephen, did you hear about my lost wallet story? And he hadn't heard about it. He was probably one of the few people in the country who didn't hear about it.
Wait a minute. And this is within 5 or 10 miles of your home.
Absolutely.
Around the country, people are hearing about it. And yet this is great. Making that local connection.
Yeah. And, but he hadn't heard of the story, believe it or not. I shared it with him. And I mentioned to him how I discovered this young woman through a profile picture of her dog. He made a comment. He said, Kevin, I've always felt that pets are like social glue that bond people and communities together.
Pets are like social glue.
That bond.
Brilliant observation.
And I agree with that comment. I mean, I'm an animal lover. I see how pets bring people and communities together. Unconditional love is a love unlike any other. And when he made that comment, it resonated and something struck a chord. And on the drive home, I felt there's a deeper connection. My gut says there's something more with this young woman. And so I scrolled her Facebook feed again. And what did I discover? That she's passionate about animals and the York County SPCA. And that was when I had the idea of making a donation to the York County SPCA in her honor and a community celebration of kindness at which she would be honored took root, because pets are the glue that bond people and communities together. Community celebration of kindness. I'm going to make a donation to the York County SPCA Second Chance Fund. It's a fund that often provides life-saving care for animals that otherwise, maybe wouldn't get the care they needed. And this act of kindness gave me a second chance to view the world differently. It changed my paradigm of the world. Made me see
this is called a shift in perspective. Just a slight shift in perspective. And now Kevin is on a pathway to change the world unknowingly, but he's on that pathway. By the way, the great acronym for joy is Journey of You. Joy, Journey of You. So there'll be more of the journey of Kevin right after this brief break. We have sponsors that love us. We vet them. We, excuse the pun, we wouldn't have them on if we didn't think they were of value to you. So we'll be right back with this brief message. Don't go away. There's more of the Kevin Smith global kindness story coming right back. Be right. Don't go away. We need you. We love you. We Americans take about 20,000 breaths every day, and we spend an average of 90% of our time indoors. Now, the indoor air that we breathe can be up to 100 times more polluted than outdoor air. That's according to the Environmental Protection Agency. Indoor air pollutants can cause respiratory systems like sneezing, congestion, scratchy throat, and even more serious health problems like lung and heart disease. So what's the solution? Is there a solution? The answer is yes. I'm here to tell you about Air Doctor, the air purifier that helps filter out 99.99% of dangerous contaminants so your lungs don't have to. This includes allergens, pollen, pet dander, dust mites, mold spores, and even bacteria and viruses. I'm going to make a confession. I use it and we love it. Air Doctor comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So you don't love it? Just send it back for a refund minus the shipping. Go to airdoctorpro.com. Use the promo code JOY, J-O-Y, and you'll receive up to $300 off air purifiers. Exclusive to my podcast listeners, you will also receive a free 3-year warranty in any unit. That's an additional $84 value. So go and get this special offer now. Go to airdoctorpro.com, 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 and use the promo code JOY, J-O-Y. You will thank me. Bye now. Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. Remember, you're good-looking, so I was looking for and finding the good. Our cup runneth over with good. His name is Kevin Smith, and his pathway of life is thanking, kindness, creating a movement or being involved with a movement called Kindness Worldwide. So let's talk more about the essence of what you see now is this, as you say, and we've talked about it, the superpower called kindness.
Well, this one act of kindness has had ripple effects that literally are being felt throughout the world and are growing as we speak. And, you know, what happened with this idea of a community celebration of kindness, from that point on, Barry, it took on a life of its own that is impossible to put into words. It's been the most meaningful journey of my life because what started, innocently enough, is just a way to acknowledge this Good Samaritan woman in a more meaningful way. It evolved into something so much more. It became about making a meaningful difference and bringing people and communities together more broadly. And ultimately what happened, all these ideas kept coming. I thought, well, let's acknowledge this Good Samaritan woman. And then these other ideas, it occurred to me on this journey that we have days, weeks, even months for a lot of things. It occurred to me on this journey, we have a National French Fry Day. Now, I like French fries. French fries are good, but too many French fries, not good, not healthy. You can never have too much kindness. And it occurred to me that kindness is the one thing that brings people and communities together from all over the world. It's the one thing that unites us all. It transcends borders, cultures, distances, languages, and time. It makes no distinction on color, creed, religion. It's the one thing we need more of, and we don't do enough to celebrate it. We have a World Kindness Day in November of every year, started by the World Kindness Movement that formed in 1997 in Tokyo, Japan. But even there, many people still don't even know about World Kindness Day. That needs to change. And it occurred to me, well, why don't we celebrate? Why don't we just have a week? Kindness is something we should embrace every day, but let's start there. Let's start with a week. So, and these ideas kept coming. So what happened is that we had York City in Pennsylvania formally recognize Kindness Week worldwide. That was our signature initiative, the nonprofit I was inspired to create, which I can talk about. Then I felt like, well, why limit it to York City? Let's have York County proclaim Kindness Week, which they did. And I'm like, well, why limit to York County? Let's have neighboring Adams County proclaim it, which they did. And why stop there? We had Governor Shapiro for the entire state of Pennsylvania recognize Kindness Week worldwide. That was the most magical week.
Okay, let's talk about this. This all happened within a week, what you just said. How long?
These ideas, so we had Kindness Week worldwide. That was in November. Now, this act of kindness happened on Good Friday morning in April 7th, 2023. Right. That's 7 months from April to Kindness Week worldwide. I was sprinting a marathon. All these ideas kept coming. I was inspired to form a nonprofit called Kindness Worldwide.
By the way, let me interrupt for a moment. Everything you want to know about what Kevin is doing, just go to my website, barryshore.com, BARRYSHORE. You don't have to write anything down. Just lean in and feel the experience. Go to the show notes. Everything about what Kevin is doing and shifting the energy of the planet for the good is there. So just be aware. It's all available to you just right now. Feel the experience. Okay, so now we have the governor of the state of Pennsylvania, World Kindness, not World Kindness, it's Kindness Week.
Kindness Week Worldwide, correct. That's our signature initiative of the nonprofit Kindness Worldwide, which has a vision, by the way, to create a culture of kindness in communities throughout the world. And there's many ways of doing that, but one way is let's formally recognize what I believe is humanity's greatest asset, which is kindness. And that was where the proclamations, recognitions come into play. There's other initiatives of the nonprofit, but our signature initiative is Kindness Week Worldwide. During that magical week, and it was magical, honestly, I think it was miraculous what occurred in such a short period of time. In that week, we had police departments, York City Police Department, York County Sheriff's Department, all throughout York City and York County issuing kindness citations. It's a way of improving police-community relations. It's a way for them to see the good that defines our communities, and it's a way for our communities to see the good that defines our police departments. We had entire schools and colleges embracing kindness in endearing ways. We had community blood drives, symbolic of paying it forward. By the way, Kindness Week Worldwide encompasses Veterans Day here in the United States. What better way to honor our veterans who literally shed their blood to defend their country and for love of the country? What better way to honor them than to donate our own blood as a way of showing our gratitude and respect for their service, which are three of the characteristics of kindness, by the way. So we had community blood drives. We had vendors and coffee shops distributing See the Good and Be the Good kindness cards that I developed. It's a way of making kindness intentional and top of mind in our daily lives and routines. And I was inspired to establish a very innovative fund, an endowed fund at the York County Community Foundation called Kindness Coattails, designed to fund kindness initiatives. Coattails spelled co-tails, Tails, inspired by the story, Co for Community, tails an animal. Also a tale, as a Tale, fascinating narrative of an event, as the story was. And that's a fund that is designed to fund kindness, kindness curriculums. We issued grants from that fund earlier this year to fund organizations doing kindness, acts of kindness, going above and beyond in our local area. So it was the most magical, meaningful week of my life. Again, impossible to put into words. And now it's even become even more fascinating with the events happening since then, how this movement that began innocently enough, organically enough, completely by accident.
Well, let me interrupt for a moment. Let me interrupt because, as you notice, if you're watching, you're seeing an extra benefit here. Kevin is a religious man. He's a Christian. There are no accidents in life. Everybody knows it. Let's be very clear and precise with our language. There are no accidents. It's all designed, and it was meant to tap Kevin on the shoulder and said, hello, I need your help right now. That's the Lord speaking. And you responded. See, again, remember, it's not choice, not chance determines your destiny. How you choose to respond in any given situation. You chose to learn how to become a cog. A cog is a great acronym. It stands for Channel of Goodness. You chose to be a cog.
So that's so true, Barry. And honestly, I've lost count of the coincidences that have happened on this journey. There have been so many serendipitous moments. I am convinced that on Good Friday morning of all days, that I was meant to go to the grocery store that day and leave my wallet behind, and that young woman was meant to find it. And the theme of this journey, Kindness Week, our logo, it says, see the good, be the good, go the extra mile. And, faith is very important to me. When we see the good, I believe we see God. And, we all may worship differently, but we all worship the same God. And I will tell you that so many events have happened. Everyone who's been woven into the story, I believe, was meant to be part of it at the right time. Meeting you has certainly been a blessing, and so many others. And it's going to take a village to create the world that we want to see. And it is a choice. And I had an epiphany, many of them, but one is that before this happened, I was kind of seeing the world through a glass half empty lens. I watched the news too much. All the negativity was affecting me. And this act of kindness, like, it snapped me out of a subconscious trance and made me see the good. The good's the norm, the bad's the exception. And yeah, bad things happen, but that doesn't override the fact that the good is in far greater abundance than the bad. But for the bad that does exist, I used to feel, Barry, that there's nothing I could do about it. I felt powerless in doing about it. I just accepted, took this defeatist attitude. And I would often point the finger at others and saying, well, they need to do this. They need to do that. This isn't right. This needs to change. And I realized, no, I need to point the finger at myself. I looked in the mirror and realized that I've got to be the change I wish for. I've got to do better. And so I'm trying to do my part. And by focusing on what I can control instead of dwelling on what I cannot, my world instantly changed. My circle of influence started to expand. And now other people are being brought into this circle, and we're all doing great things together that none of us could be doing individually. And all these things that I felt that I couldn't control, that concern me, that weighed on me, I'm thinking, guess what? Maybe I can do something about it after all. If nothing else, I'm committed to try. But I've got to be the change. Change begins with me, and that is a choice that we all have.
Let's unpack a few things here, because it's not just powerful and positive and purposeful and pleasant. It's real. It's real. And I want to emphasize two pieces. Number one is that you were even unconsciously involved in negativity by allowing the forces of negativity to invade your space, your home, your work, wherever you were, by listening to or watching negative things. When you made that decision, that's a critical essence of life. Life is what we call a 3D process. The first D is decision, the second is discipline, and the third is determination. When you made that decision, you made a shift in the energy of the planet. And you began to understand, I can see the good. The second part of that shift was that you recognize, I can do something. The first word in the word improve, I can improve the world, is I. Hello. You can improve the world. I'm going to share a little idea with you, if I may. By the way, I wrote down something as we were talking. In America, there's a cereal called Special K. Well, now we know what Special K really stands for, right? Kindness. That's the Special K in everybody's life. So I'm going to share with you an idea, because we talked a number of times about animals, pets, and how it makes a difference in life, right? So I will presume, wonderful Kevin, that every once in a while, when you walk your dog or dogs, that you encounter dog poop. Is that true?
More than I've stepped in it on more than a few occasions as well.
But everybody knows dog poop. Ready? So I'm about to unload on you on something that's going to open your mind and shock you. You ready for this?
Absolutely. Bring it on.
This is one of our cards which we distribute around the world, and the card reads, "Learn to love dog poop." Did Barry Shore say learn to love dog poop? Yes, because dog poop is an amazing acronym that you embody. Are you ready? Dog, doing of good, poop, power of one person. Once you made the determination to recognize that you, as an agent of the creator of the universe, you, an individual, not only can, but you are making a difference. This talk, I'm not talking Kevin and I. This is for everybody watching. This is all about you. It's not about Kevin, great guy that he is. Barry Shaw, yeah, fine guy. It's about you becoming the best you, because when you're the best you make the world a better place. You build more bridges of harmony, create more joy, happiness, peace, and love in the world. Learn to love dog poop. Whenever you see it, you're walking along with a friend or something, you start laughing. Ha ha, look at that dog poop. Your friend will say, what are you, a nut? Say, yes. What are you talking about? Do you know what that means? Dog poop means doing of good, power of one person. Then you can talk to them, all the things we're discussing today, because it's about transformation. This is not about inspiration. Kevin is inspirational, but you know what happens with inspiration. It goes away after a while, right? It's not just about information. Great information. What are you going to do with it? It's the T word, transformation. You want to be involved with what we call shift. Shift stands for something happening inside, facilitating transformation. You are shifting the energy of the planet for the good. You're going to tell Ann after this, I love dog poop, right?
Absolutely.
Isn't this wonderful? And I want you to share that with all the people in the SPCA, because this is a shift. So let's continue here on what you call the idea of the superpower that is kindness. As you said, you can overeat too many French fries, too much ice cream. We all know gold and silver, too much, it doesn't help. Kindness, love, joy, peace, unfathomable. There is no end to the goodness that it creates. And what you're doing right now, wonderful Kevin, is you're creating what we call a tsunami of goodness always. And that's what happens with dog poop. You reach out to one, to another, 2 to 4 to 8, 16, 32, and it multiplies. So let's talk more about what's happening in World Kindness Week.
Well, thank you so much, Barry. What you said is so true. And I've always said this is not a me endeavor, it's a we endeavor. And I'll tell you a secret superpower that every single one of us possesses, everyone in your audience possesses. And that is kindness. It's a choice, and a choice we all have to make. And if we exercise it, if we only choose to exercise it, its powers truly are transformative, because I've experienced that firsthand. And change begins with us and the power of one. One individual, one kind act followed by another, one at a time, and one community celebrating kindness, one community at a time. That's how we inspire change and empower change and become the change we wish for, and literally change the world. So this movement of Kindness Week worldwide is now spreading. It's very easy to do. There's a framework of Kindness Week. There's a proclamation already written. It's on the website. Any mayor can sign it, or governor with a stroke of a pen. The framework is a proclamation. Let's recognize humanity's greatest asset. Let's do a community blood drive. Let's fill our blood banks across the world. They're at low capacity. Let's fill them up. Very easy to do. Let's issue kindness citations to improve police-community relations, see the good in our communities all throughout the world. Let's distribute kindness cards that are out there. Make kindness top of mind and intentional. Let's implement kindness curriculums. You can teach kindness. We can use music as a great way of bringing people and communities together. Artistic creation, fashion, sports. There's so many ways to achieve this vision of creating a culture of kindness in communities throughout the world. And we all are going to be part of this story. Many people, they think of this story about Brooke and I, and it's a beautiful story. No denying that. But that's not the story. The story is what happens next, that we are all collectively going to write together, because we have that power. Brooke may have written the introduction to the story by returning my wallet on Good Friday morning. And I was inspired as a way of saying thank you in a more meaningful way to write the forward, to pay it forward, so to speak. But the most beautiful part of the story is what happens next. The stories we collectively write together, because I believe in the character of citizens of this country, my community, and the global citizens of the world. And I think we're all just looking for a spark to ignite a flame, to start a kindness conferno, I call it, all throughout the world. So this movement of Kindness Week, it's already spreading. Kindness Week worldwide this November is November 9th through the 16th. It's right after the U.S. presidential election. Think we're going to need more kindness after that? I think we will.
Right. If not now, when? Hello.
Absolutely. So Kindness Week's already going to be celebrated by multiple communities, not just locally, but other states, even throughout the world. It's going to be in Lithuania. We're going to celebrate Kindness Week worldwide in Africa. And the goal, the vision is we need to celebrate Kindness Week worldwide in every community, every county, every country in the world. And there's a path. There's no reason not to. Every reason we should, and I'm committed with everyone's support, everyone in your audience and everyone who's not in your audience. We can do this together. It will take a village, but the village is forming, the village is growing, and every single one of us have the power to make this vision happen.
We love you. I want to mention 3 two-letter words that you've talked about. This is not a me thing. This is a we thing. And if you know how to spell me, M-E, just turn that M upside down or invert it, and it becomes a we. That's how easy it is to go from me to we. And you're talking about us. Us is a great acronym that stands for United Souls. We're all one soul. And once we become united and understand that the us is everybody in the world, and that kindness is that wonderful ability to create that channel that touches everybody, well, guess what happens? Goodness. Goodness is the essence of what we're here for. You have to learn it. It takes work. You have to do something about it. You can't just think about it. You need to act. And do means daring optimism. That's what Kevin's all about. Just do it. Do is daring optimism. Speaking about that, we're going to be right back with more Kevin after this brief message. Don't go away. Sponsors we love. We vet them. We think they're good for you. Be right back with more kindness through Kevin.
What if you could shop at your favorite local stores, swipe your current credit card, and get extra cashback rewards? And what if you could also have donations sent to your favorite cause at no extra cost to you? What if this amazing program was absolutely free and very simple to set up? Well, What If is here. Welcome to Einstein Cares, where your everyday shopping gives you and your favorite cause extra money. It's fast, it's easy, and effortless.
Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. Now, be good-looking, so always looking for and finding the good. Finding good in abundance. Have we found good? You are just loving it. We're getting so many inputs right now from hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people. This, again, share this with 5 people so that we will touch 2 million people around the world. You want to share with 50 or 100, it's even better. At least 5. Commit to sharing with 5 people. Go to the show notes. Go to barryshore.com, BarryShore, barryshore.com. All the information about what Kevin's doing, what's available, and how you can help. Yes, you can. Remember, learn to love dog poop, doing of good, power of one person. Everybody makes a difference because you're mad. Mad, remember, stands for make a difference. So let's talk about something on this particular year, like you just mentioned. It's going to be November 9th through the 16th.
9th through the 16th, correct.
Now, non-correct, if I'm counting, if you count number of days, is that 7 or 8 days?
Well, it's 8 days, and I'm glad you mentioned that. Why 8 days? Well, it occurred to me in this journey, why don't we tie 2 weekends together instead of 1? That makes sense. But we went the extra mile to add a day. We think kindness is worthy of an extra day in the week. So in the spirit of going the extra mile, going above and beyond, we made it 8 days instead of 7. Now, there's another reason we made it 8 days, because in this journey, I sat down one day and I started to do some research and like, well, what are the characteristics of kindness? You know, we have this term kindness. It's a pretty broad term. We kind of know it when we see it, but how do we really break it down into its components? And I identified 8 characteristics: gratitude, patience, forgiveness, empathy, and compassion, which are kind of, similar. Empathy and compassion, lumped them together. Respect, joy, generosity, service. 8 characteristics. why not have a day symbolically representative of each characteristic of kindness? So that's why we have it 8 days. Kindness Week Worldwide will always begin the Saturday before World Kindness Day and always go the Saturday after. And what we want to do is we want to make sure that people celebrate kindness every year and make it a thing, make it magical, just like what happened here locally. If that magic can happen in York, Pennsylvania and surrounding communities, it can happen anywhere and everywhere. All we've got to do is provide the framework, plant the seed, and watch it organically, magically take root. And that's the vision for Kindness Week Worldwide every year. And that's why we have 8 days.
So first of all, you say magic, take root. I am of age. I grew up with the Jack and the Beanstalk story. So if you don't know it, you can look it up. It's a great story, may even probably be on a YouTube video or something. Jack gets magic beans, plants something, and the beanstalk grows up into the sky and he climbs and all kinds of adventures happen. That is exactly what you're talking about here. Planting these seeds. When you plant the seeds of goodness, the only thing that can come out is goodness. Hello, that's the way the Lord made the world. You plant an apple seed, you're not going to get a rose bush. When you plant, so as you sow, so shall ye reap. Now, I will say a couple of things about 8, only because you have guitars behind you. Whenever I hear 8, I think of the Beatles song. How much does somebody love somebody else? 8 days a week. Remember, because 6 is the essence of the physical world. There are 6 pieces to a cube, the up, down, north, west, etc. 7th is the Sabbath, which overrides, that's the spiritual essence of the world. And 8th goes beyond nature. And if you look at the number 8 in Arabic numeral and you turn it on its side, Kevin, what does it look like now?
There's an infinity sign.
Right.
An active kindness can endure forever, has coattails, right?
Right. There you go.
And I love your Beatles. I'm going to add 2 more Bs, the Beach Boys. So during Kindness Week Worldwide, why don't we send out some good vibrations?
Good vibrations. And here the acronym for love. Love stands for living on vibrant energy.
Love it.
Living on the vibrational plane, which is, by the way, why people love this podcast. And remember, it's not about Kevin Smith. I mean, fabulous, amazing man. We're so happy you're here. Not about Barry Shaw. Yeah, great guy, good story. It's about you, YOU. Remember, joy stands for journey of you becoming the best you possible. I want to say thank you. And remember, everybody, thanks stands for to harmonize and nurture kindness. To harmonize and nurture kindness. There are a few things that you can talk about, think about, and act on that will be of greater benefit to the human being, yourself. I mean, you want to be selfish? You want to be really selfish? Be kind. I'll just share with you one thing, and then I'm going to have, our time is coming to a close. As you know, Kevin, because you mentioned it, in the old days when you turned on the news and that kind of stuff, it was the washing over of the negativity. And then you were able to make the decision to push that aside. You know as well or better than anybody that the most important speech that anybody could ever hear is self-talk. Self-talk. What you say to yourself is far more important than any news or influencer, or no matter however close anybody is. It's what you say to yourself. When you begin to speak to yourself from the higher self, there's 2 selves. There's a high self and a low self. The higher self stands for recognizing you're a soul experiencing life fully. That's the high self. When you say self-talk, talk stands for teaching, always, love, and kindness. That's talk. Teaching, always, love, and kindness. That's what Kevin Smith is. That's what Ann Smith is. That's what they do in life. And they've been able to open up this enormous channel that is worldwide. Once it goes out, you can't stop it. There's no force on this earth, anywhere in the world, anywhere, that can stop it. That's the genius of this. This is nothing stands in the way of goodness and kindness in these 8 items that you mentioned. As I said, I'm somewhat loath to say these words. Our time together is coming to a close. So I have 3 questions for you, Kevin Smith. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Number 1, will you come back again?
I'd love to.
Thank you. Number 2, Kevin Smith. You only have 80 seconds to answer this. I think we know the answer. However, I want you to put it in your words in 80 seconds or less. Kevin Smith, what is your most fervent desire?
My fervent desire is I want to see a season of peace and kindness throughout the world that never ends, to see bringing people and communities together to celebrate humanity's greatest asset, which is kindness, to see people try to be just a little bit better, like I'm trying to be. I was a good person before this began. I'm a much better person now. And I think we all have that power within us to be just a little bit better. And I think if we all just strive in our own ways to see the good, be the good, go the extra mile in the spirit of kindness, and literally just do our best, be the best version of ourselves each day and every interaction and in every moment, every opportunity, and just strive to be the reason that someone believes in the goodness of people. If we just try to do that each and every day, our world would instantly be changed. So my wish for your audience and for everyone is just to see the good that exists, that's out there. It's in great abundance. Don't believe a false narrative. Yes, bad things happen, but it's not what happens to us. It's how we respond that matters. We don't have to be defined by it. Let it refine us. Let us be better because of it. And let's all work together to make our world better and lift up those around us. So thank you so much for the opportunity to share this story with you. And I welcome you and look forward to you all being a part of the story, because it's our story now. The pen is now yours. Right. It's ours to collectively write this story together.
Thank you. And now, third question. May I give you a hug in front of 411,819 people around the world?
You bet. Love it.
Let me tell you what HUG stands for. Heartfelt, unlimited giving. That's what you are. Ready? 1, 2, 3. You're listening to The Joy of Living with your humble host, Barry Shore, and our amazing guest, Kevin Smith. And remember, we discussed the 3 fundamentals of life. Number 1, life. Your life has purpose. And when you lead a purpose-driven life, number 2 happens. You go mad. MAD stands for make a difference. Just like Kevin's doing, everybody can, because you're going to learn to love dog poop. Doing of good, power of one person. Uncover the power and the secrets of everyday words and terms. WWW, what a wonderful word. Smile, seeing miracles in life every day. Or as my 8-year-old niece says, seeing miracles in everyday life. So, but create the kind of world you want to live in. You create the world you want to live in, causing rethinking, a small shift, enabling all to excel. And when you do that, you want to use 4-letter words. Now, remember the kind of 4-letter words we use: positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant. Love, life, hope, free, give, play, pray, swim, and tell the world to F you. Capital N, capital N. See your family and friends. Say those words. F you. You get their attention. Add right away. Capital N. Say, where'd you get that? I listen to Barry Shore and The Joy of Living. And he was taught, this guy has about kindness. Kind, keep inspiring noble deeds. Use the 2 most powerful words in the English language 3 times a day, consciously and conscientiously, for now and the rest of your life. You'll be happier, healthier, and wealthier. Who doesn't want that? Kind, keep inspiring those noble deeds. Thank you, Kevin. And a big blessing from Kevin and Barry. Go forth. Live exuberantly. Spread the seeds of joy, happiness, peace, and love. Go mad. Go make a difference. Kevin, don't go away.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Joy of Living podcast. Now that's another step towards your healthier, happier, and wealthier life. Never hesitate to do good in the world, no matter what the situation. Join us for another upbeat discussion next time at barryshore.com. And be sure to leave a rating and subscribe to the show to get more conversations like this. And remember to share it with your family and friends too. See you on the next episode.